All right, well, hey everybody, today we want to talk about what is the easiest way to set up automatic billing or electronic payment for your rental real estate. How do you collect rent electronically? So whether you have a duplex and one tenant or 50, we want to show you the 3 easiest and least expensive ways to collect rent as a landlord because we think this is super important. So really quick, this is not an exhaustive list. There's about 20 or so different options, but we wanted to show you what our clients and ourselves have really liked for easy, free, and kind of comprehensive options when it comes to rent collection, right? So this isn't exhaustive. When you get into the rental real estate business, whether you own a duplex or you're owner occupying and there's just a couple of you, or you own multiple units, it's incredibly important to do 3 things. Now there's way smarter people than me. This is not meant to be, we don't know everything here, but we know that these are important. You have to stay efficient, you have to be professional, and you have to stay profitable, which is obvious, right? Now, efficiency means working and getting more done with less work. Professionalism means that your tenants won't walk all over you, and profitability is pretty obvious, right? But really, we think that these 3 things are going to be critical for you. So vacancies and missed rent, those payments, missing payments like that can eat into your profitability really quick. So it's critical that you continuously improve on your ability to collect rent and keep your properties filled. The easiest way we think to do this is to allow electronic payment rather than requiring checks, cash, or any other manual effort. You really want to get rid of that at all costs. So having the ability to easily collect rent through ACH or credit cards can be critically important to having a profitable business as a landlord. Now really quick, we want to acknowledge that we believe electronic payments through ACH and credit cards is probably the most important thing for landlords, but we also know that there are some situations where it's best to collect rent in person and that there can be some real value in collecting rent in person. There's tons of value there. Collecting rent in person can allow landlords the ability to perform a walkthrough each month to hold tenants accountable, and it can also help build great relationships with your tenants so that they really look to you as people, as somebody that they know cares about them. So if you have a property that's maybe high turnover or in a high turnover area, or if your tenants are problematic or you think they might be, if you're in a college town, you might want to collect rent in person. That's completely all right. We understand that. And the more discipline you have, the better. But outside of those reasons, we're pretty sure that there's multiple additional problems that arise when you collect rent in person. So first off, you'll either be handed a check or cash, which can be lost or even stolen, right? So besides that, it's time consuming and it could kill your productivity as well as increase the processing time that it takes for your accounts to actually get the payment. Your accounts receivable tend to get a little bit longer. And last, if you've collected checks, there's that age-old problem where maybe your tenant wrote you a bad check and you won't know about that insufficient funds until you try to actually cash it. So for what it's worth, we recommend working hard to stay professional, profitable, and efficient, right? And one major way is to collect rent electronically through an ACH system or credit card processing. And here are 3 of the easiest, lowest costs, if not free options to collect rent electronically. So remember, now in almost every situation, ACH, which is essentially a bank account transfer, is going to be very low cost, if not free. Our solutions will be free. Whereas processing a credit card usually has a fee of about 3% and maybe as low as 1.5–1%. So ACH is generally preferable when it comes to costs. And besides the fact that ACH is going to be free with the solution that we show you here, credit card payments are more annoying because every time a credit card expires, you have to go get the new credit card information, and there are additional problems with small banks sometimes making it tough to charge a bank card. There's a bunch of problems there. So there's multiple reasons why we think collecting rent through ACH or your checking account is better than a credit card. Now there are dozens of different payment processors that will allow you to collect e-payments or electronic fund payments for your properties as a landlord, but we've narrowed it down to these 3, right? So the first one is called ZenLord Pro, which is our favorite, and then Cozy is a close second, and then you've got Venmo, right? So ZenLord Pro, Cozy, and Venmo. So there's certainly, and I mean, I keep saying it, but there are dozens of property management tools and property management softwares and accounting systems out there, but we found that these tools are the lowest cost and easiest to use when it comes to collecting rent. So Venmo, you've probably heard of Venmo. Venmo is a slick and easy way to send payments, and it's owned by PayPal, right? So you've got a big name behind it. And Venmo originally created its tool to help friends and family send money to each other really free, easy, quick. But it's quickly turned into a powerful tool for electronic transfers. Now, the problem with Venmo is that there are not provisions within its user agreement to property owners, sellers. There's just no seller's protections like you would with a credit card processor or a more formal system like ZenLord Pro or Cozy. You don't have protections. So Venmo is certainly the easiest tool to just have your tenant send you money. It's really easy to have them shoot money over to you. It's not difficult at all, but you should be wary that there are no protections for you as a seller if you were running a store or as a landlord. So the next two auto pay solutions are true property management tools that not only process your payments automatically and for free with ACH, but they serve as accounting systems, listing tools to when you have an opening, and have a robust set of features for landlords. Now, Cozy has been around for a while ZenLord Pro is a little bit newer, but we've really come to love ZenLord Pro for a couple of reasons, and it's probably because of just the way I operate. But primarily, it's because of how it allows us to not only collect rent fast, easy, and free through ACH, but it also allows us the convenient system of this. It's a management system for work orders and vendor payments when you have maintenance requests and charges. These next two, so Cozy and ZenLord Pro, are pretty similar, but ZenLord Pro is a free property management software tool that is equal to Cozy in its features, but it has some sweet additional systems built into it that helps landlords with their work order vendor systems, which is kind of this catchphrase for when a maintenance order comes in. So when it comes to collecting rent, ZenLord Pro offers free ACH rent payment, credit card processing systems for about 3%, and then you'll also be able to add on late fees automatically or other types of charges, just like what Cozy will do, and it's done very easily. Not only that, but ZenLord Pro replaces the need for additional bookkeeping and accounting software, so you don't need QuickBooks, you're not going to need Xero. This is really your one-stop shop, and really Cozy can do that too. But Cozy and ZenLord Pro are pretty much identical, but Cozy has the ability to automatically report rental payments to credit agencies in order to help people build up credit, which is kind of cool, as well as credit reporting automation systems. So when you're getting applications and you can very easily run a credit report. ZenLord Pro, though, is currently developing the credit reporting system, they told us, but they also have these tools necessary to keep up the documents and requests of the credit report. So the system is there, they're just not tied and married to a credit reporting agency. So Cozy's maybe a little bit better when it comes to credit reporting agencies, but ZenLord Pro has all the tools as well. So Cozy has the credit reporting, but ZenLord Pro has this vendor pool and work order system. So you might roll your eyes at that and not think that that's a big deal, but anyone who's had a rental property knows that a lot of the time of your day or your weekend can get gobbled up when a client or a tenant has a request and you have to contact somebody to get it fixed. You have the vendors and the contractors' trip charges that you need to reduce as much as possible. So you have to do some work up front. You need to manage the invoice. You have to pay the invoice. And then you have this weird, awkward, and kind of frustrating tension as you try and figure out, well, the tenant broke it, but I should probably cover part of the costs. And who should pay for the repair? It is goofy, and it can really add up to a lot of screwing around. Now, a lot of people who own rental property don't care. They're all in for it, but I run a business. I know a lot of entrepreneurs run businesses and they don't want to be caught up in doing all of the maintenance requests, and having a slick system is nice. So with ZenLord Pro, you would just create a ticket and it would automatically send a text to these vendors that you've either put in there or they have vendors. And then they can say, yes, they'd like to do it. Once they're in the system, they would just get pinged with this text. And the vendor would then receive the text and they would see the photos and the description that you've created so that they can see what's going on. And you can even store your models of your appliances, your serial numbers, the warranty information about the appliances that you might have. Once the vendor gets that text and looks at that and decides that they'd like to take the job, it's a first come, first served system, they call it, and then they can go. So then the work gets completed and you can pay them right away with ZenLord Pro through your bank account, the same ACH system, which is slick, and then you can close the ticket. So now you have a paper trail to show that the work has actually been done, and then you can decide to pass along any percent, 100% to 0% or wherever you want, charge to the tenant. And you do that all automatically, which is really slick and easy. So to recap, both Cozy and ZenLord Pro have free, easy ways to collect rent electronically, and they both offer so much more, which is why we really recommend them. Both of them are free to tenants, and the way that they make their money, nothing's for free, right? But they basically take part of the application fees that you would charge when you're or a percentage of the credit reporting charge that happens. You can do background checks. They take a little spiff of that. Or if you do these vendor payments, ZenLord Pro takes a small spiff of that. Application fees, that type of deal. So it's free to you, but you pass along some costs to your applicants and your tenants, which is really nice. So both of these tools really are worth a look for sure. We think that they're super helpful, and we hope that this helps you along as you build more financial momentum with rental properties. We think this is the way to go. I hope that's helpful. Have a good one.